All right, so here we are again. 2 days in a row. Good times. We got here March 25th, 2019 daily candle close. You're looking at the 4-hour BitMEX chart, XBT USD. And we see we had a couple big moves to the south side earlier today. Let's see, 0.6, 0.1. Looks like we tapped down all the way down, 38.59 ballpark. Found support on our long-term trend. Kicked right back up, bounced off the 618, so all is well. Nothing is lost. All has been saved. So that's good. We have 6 minutes, 50 seconds before we close it out. Good morning, Snow, Pen Knob. Hey, man. Hey, how the hell are you? Hope your day was good. Hope the trading day was good. It looks like there was a little bit of blood in the streets, but nothing that we can't get by. We're trading back at 39. Probably some alts took a hit, I would imagine. But, you know, we start seeing some differences these days where some alts will take a hit and some will, some are completely unaffected. So that's what we're going to take a look at right now. If we can get this thing going. Yeah, let me just reload that real quick and we'll put it back on the D1, which you see right now. It looks like EVX was the big mover of the day. So let's see what we have. While we count down another 5 minutes to go before we lock that candle up. All right. I know. We're all just going to tell a little story here as we wait for this to populate. There we go. All right, so EVX ETH, EVX BTC on the 1 day peak gain 272. Only retraced 47% of that, so that's pretty impressive. Might have to take a look at this in a minute. Ren is back up. Look at that, Ren. Shooting 83 up, losing 63% of that. Data ETH, Data BTC, trying to swing the daily into sideways, slightly bullish. It's got a lot of help right now with a 74% move up. Unfortunately, gave back 87% already, so really creeping up on the 886 just on the 1 day move. BTS, Bread, Lun is in here. Poe is in here. Ardar is in here. Yen G is in here. Yo-Yo is in here. So lots of good moves. A lot of these, though, you see like X amount up, 96 down, right? So this big move here, that's just a big pump, and then it's just a big dump. Bread, same thing, 44 up, 92 gone. No good. POA, 88 up, 88 down. 24 up, 88 down, right? That's rough. What you want to look for is something like, you know, this right here, 32. So you got a 21 move up, right? You're only down 32. So you're creeping up on the 382. As far as fibs are concerned, this is something that you might want to take a look at and pull the chart and see what happens. See if you can't see some sort of setup that's getting on there. Let's see, Syndicator's in there. Polymath is in there. Raven is still up. Slowed down a little bit. 16% move up with 55 down. So, you know, all in all, you know, you say blood in the streets, but really, there's plenty of moves. Moves all over the place. Even this, right? This is fine. This is a 7% move, right? Pulled back 28%. Creeping up on the 382. Just lost to 236. This is okay. You got a strong trend on the 12, strong trend on the 4. It's definitely coming back right now from its recent pullback. The 5-minute chart showing good. QLC ETH. And that's something to peek at right there. What do we got here? We got 3 minutes. We have got 3 minutes. DK is in here. All right. Well, JDK, welcome in. Welcome in. We have 3 minutes, 2 minutes, so we might as well take care of this. You know what I'm saying? This is we need to do this. So we're doing it. Oh, look at that. Snow, will you look at that? Let me zoom in here for you. Let me just zoom right on in here. And let's see, what is that? What's that? That's fantastic. That's what that is. All right, so we did say that was the next move. That's what we wanted to see. We were looking for a little bit of a struggle over here, which is what we got. Now, this is the 4-hour chart, just so you know. So we'll throw the daily up so you get a better idea. Did that not load? 24-hour chart, please. Thank you. Okay, there we go. All right, so that's great. Look at that. So we did find a little resistance here. We did flip it properly, closed above, came back down, got nice support, kicked back off it, smashed it right to the top, found resistance. That's perfect. Look at that horizontal support resistance. 0.0110. What was the high? 0.01099. That's beautiful. So anyway, that worked out pretty nice. We're going to have to maintain support over here, so we can't lose it in the next candle. Don't want to come back down underneath. This is a proper retest. This is fine. Now we're just looking to make higher highs after this. Now, if we're going to ping pong this, that remains to be seen. I would eventually like to see us break out of the larger pattern, trade up above our channel, and get a high that's higher than our previous local high. And then next target area would be all the way over here. Get that structure high out of the way. All right, so overall, pretty good. G-Byte's actually doing some things, so that's good to see. All right, let's go back to our chart here. 42 seconds to go before we close out that big, bad candle right there. The big one. The big daily candle. Right? A lot of people got a little upset when they saw this today, but it's okay. Look, you found support. You tested trend. There's no problem here. 15 seconds to go. All right. Let me double check this over here. I don't know why. I just can't seem to get that working. But that's okay. No worries. Oh, Art Scout's up in the room. All right, we are ready. Is that it? Did we finally do it? Did it happen? It sure did. All right, so don't get too close. The paint is still wet. Here we go. We opened up at 39.66. We hit a high of 39.72, so not very far away from open. We hit a low all the way down to 38.59, so a little bit over $100. And then we closed at 39.03, so brought it back up a significant amount. Overall, at the end of the day, we are down 1.59%, totaling $63. But more importantly, look at this. Okay? Here's what we're looking at. This is our break, right? So this is when we finally touched down off of this pattern. This was our big break, right? We found support, double top or double bottom, pushed up, first significant move since a large significant drop. Since then, rose up, came down a little bit, pushed back up again, dropped down a little bit, sideways range, right, for about a week, pushed up into another range only just above this range for another week or so, pushed up a little stair-step move, nothing too crazy here, just basically got us right into another range right above this range, where we did come down and retest all that ranged area. And with this time, instead of the easy range, see how this was a little bit up in the center and then pushed down a little bit and then up? This was up in the center, pushed down a little bit and then down. So what did you do when you came down here? Well, you tested a 618. That's what you did right here. 618. You also tested trend. Bang, 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 bang. There's nothing wrong with this. This is fine. Now, if you push down past it, closed below it, opened up the next candle, and then continued down, then yeah, all right, then, you know, get your shorts in order. But right now, this is fine. You're making higher highs on the local now, not this right here. That's your swing failure. but you are making higher lows across the board. Right, so higher lows is fine. This gets you in your trend, but now you have to start painting this symmetrical right here, right? Because now with your swing failure in place, right, that's what you need to be focusing on, at least, you know, in the interim. It's nothing. Oh, come on, Magnet. Don't do that. Don't do any of that. There you go, buddy. Perfect. All right. It's not the most beautiful symmetrical, and technically speaking, it's really not a symmetrical at all. Unfortunately, you only have the one touch, and you got the second touch up top. But this is, I'm going to demonstrate why this is a bad pattern. All right, why this doesn't work. If you have all of your trading hovered on the lower end of your pattern, then you don't necessarily have a pattern. The pattern should fill itself, right? So I feel the need to talk about this for a second. So we're going to. Okay, let's get that off. This is how this pattern should play out. Like this. Now this right here was your fail. This should have done that. It didn't. Should have came back down for another test. All right, now you got 2 touches on the bottom, 2 touches on the top. You confirm the pattern right here. This is your 3rd touch. 3, 2 is fine. Come down here. Now you got a pattern. Okay, now you got a symmetrical triangle. Now it actually works. Right? So whether you break to the downside, come back for a retest, and then push further, or you break to the upside, come back for a retest, and push further up. You see what I'm saying? But because this is not giving us this, it's all got to go. So sometimes they throw a pattern on there, and then I got to take a step back. I got to look at it real quick and be like, you know what? It's not a pattern at all, and that's fine. Doesn't have to be anything. What it is a channel, though, and I think we could probably draw that. So that's okay. So we get our parallel channel out here, and we'll just bring it all the way back here. We'll bring it up here, and then we'll just ride it up real quick. Okay. So now we have our 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch top. I mean, this doesn't really start until back here, so we'll count 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch. All right. So now we have a channel. Now we have something to actually look at. Now, if you were a range trader, or if you were a channel trader, or a parallel trader, if you were any one of those traders, you're longing this and you're shorting this. As you approach this area, right, is when you start to short it. You front run it a little bit, you get your orders filled, and you bring it down a little bit. Come over here, you push your orders up, and front run it a little bit. So even if you were to get in now and just bring it up, whatever, 6% is not bad. I'll take that all day long. I got no problem with that. Now our short over here, though, was nice. This little guy right here. Now that was convergence off of this trend from back here, right? And we painted that just the other week when we got this lower high from our A pattern over here. So since we broke C, which was significant, but we weren't able to break A, right? I put this trend on over here, and it held, I mean, perfectly right here, right? So that was the idea, was if we push up that high, maybe that's a time, just in the meantime, you know, you can get short on that. And that worked out fine. So you could have gotten out at any area below, you know, body close, which was over here. So once you saw this little spinning top, you'd probably stay in it for a little while longer. This doji would have been like, yeah, I'll just hang out for a little bit. This was a nice candle, and then you got this one over here. So to play it safe, you probably would have gotten out somewhere around the 5, kind of right about where we're trading right now. All right, so that kind of handles Bitcoin. No? So anyone wants to discuss that a little further? All right, Heart Scout, REQ, BTC, when you get a chance, no problem. She camoed up for the mechanical entry, fantastic. It's playing a game. Thanks to Little Bird for the heads up, awesome. Shankar, what's going on? Structure high, here we come. Nice. Very nice. Okay, so let's see. REQ BTC. Yeah, let's take a look. REQ BTC. Oh, well, I should probably spell it right. That would help. There you go. All right, well, we're in a much larger range. Here we go. Okay, so let's pull this back all the way here. Let's get a little bit more clear picture on what we're looking at. All right, so came up, all-time high, dropped down, bit of a dead cat, smashed down. This is a nice ABCD. Since then, we've been in range. Clearly, we could tighten up this range a little bit. This was done quickly, just by eye. So let's get a better idea on what we have. Now, as far as topside range is concerned, it's pretty good, right? You got rejection, rejection, support, support, pushed up, breakdown, retest, failed retest, came back down for a double bottom, only gave you a little bit, and then smashed back down. Now, at this point here, should have went all the way down. Would have been nice, but it didn't. Instead, it found support. I'm just about to swing high over here on that little baby move. So, I'm not loving that move at all. This looks like a little bit better of a level here. Let's say we did something similar to this. Ballpark area. Alright, and then on the top side, yeah, these wicks are pretty good. So we'll just do something like this for now, because we'll probably change this. Something like that. Alright, so it's a choppy range. It's not pretty. It is what it is. But all we have here is just rejection of range. So I'm not seeing much to do with it outside of let it fall, buy down here, and push it back up again. We do have a little bit of a trend. We are making lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. So 3 lower lows in a row, lower high, lower high, lower high. Good push up here, though. That's 11%. You know, that's another 4%. So we probably have, I don't know, maybe 25 something all day. We got 35. So really not bad at all. If we were to fib this out, let's see what we would have here. 618 supported the 618. Previous structure highs. I mean, this is a terrible structure high, so I really wouldn't pay too much attention to that right there. This pair is just an habitual wick lever. Well, I mean, look, like every candle is just a giant wick. So you might be able to, like, this is something you might be able to trade and just get lucky, you know, putting sell orders all the way up here for no reason, and for whatever, it'll just wick up there just because that's what this coin does. So you got that going for you. Overall, finding support on 618 is good. Ideally, you are going to want to break past these levels right here, this hesitation level on your move up. You hesitated for whatever reason. You pushed up again, hesitated again, pushed up again, failed to make a higher high than previous candle. Dropped down, so a false breakout, pushed back up again, did make a higher high, and then from there failed to maintain momentum. So volume actually on the way up was going down. So this is your first indication, right, that this is a failed move. So this right here, that 1, 2, 3, those 3 candles, that's not good. All right, so price is trying to do this, and you got less people interested at the same time. So those volume candles down there are basically telling you, you know, this thing's short-lived. RSI, no joke on RSI, right? That thing just came crashing down. Let's draw a 50 on here, see what the deal is. Wow, close. Not bad. Not bad for line of sight. Yeah, historically, I mean, historically it's been all right. Just choppy, you know, not much happening. That's all that range stuff we're looking at over there. Yeah, not much happening here. Let me see this. See, now that was actually good. You came in, you made a higher high RSI, but it didn't matter. You gotta maintain support right here. Okay, that's a good area to at least hold down the 43 zone. You already lost a swing on this side, right? So if you were watching this, right, and you had your trend, right, your low, your higher low, your higher high, you came down, you crossed that line, then you'd be getting out. Especially right over about a 50, I'd probably hang on to it, see what kind of reaction we got to the 50. But no, there's not too much here for me. Again, if you're a range trader, it's fine. I don't trade range often. Not as much as I should, to be honest with you. I'm busy doing other things, and I haven't quite mastered it yet. It does seem just as easy as buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. But you do need to be somewhat in tune with that pair, how it trades, what kind of wicks it leaves, like this kind of junk. And I just don't have time for it right now. Like, look at this wick up here. This is crazy. Right? You could buy now, throw a wick on the 1, right? Throw a Hail Mary sell order on the 1, and you'll probably get filled. As crazy as that sounds, but I'm not wasting capital on doing that. But that's just me. You do whatever you want. All right. Sorry, I got some dinner in me, so now now I'm wild. All right, here we go. Structure. I would like to hear your opinion on FETs. IBOS. Well, just on the chart? Yeah, let's just talk about the chart. Marcos, good evening. Miguel, he is going to give like 23 seconds to the FET TA. Yo. Yeah, Miguel's not wrong. Miguel is not wrong. Look, guys. What do you want me to do with this? Look, here's my buy. That's all I like. There's nothing here. The longer you TA, the longer you appreciate history. And without it, what do you got? Let's take a look at it. Let's really take a deep dive into what we have. We had listing, gigantic spinning top. All right, spanned 97% in a day. Okay, it settled for from open to close, settled for a 14% loss. Came back the very next day and pushed all the way back up, closed above it. The very next day, you gave back half of what you gained. So now you're right back in the middle of your listing candle. This is important. Now your 4th day of trading. Right? You lost everything that you gained 2 days prior. It's about the same size as the candle before it, and it closed above and also within your listing candle. All right, this is just the body of the listing candle. We haven't even gotten to the wick yet. So now you're 4 days in, right? And from what you gained on that 1 day, it's just been a fall. A fall, a fall, a fall. Now your 5th day of trading comes in, and you sell even more. This time you close below listing, right? So for the first time, you're now lower than you closed before, but you're not lower than where you traded before, all right? So that's interesting. Came back down another day, still within listing candle. Another day, another listing candle. You got a tiny push up, just barely closed above previous 2 days candle, but some people would call this a bullish engulfing based off of size of candle, and this is crypto, so you're not going to be able to get underneath it. But anyway, regardless, what it is a false breakout because you gave it all back and then some the very next day. That's why we wait for verification. So now you are nine trading days in, and you're still within the trading dynamics of your listing candle. Okay? Now, finally, on your 10th day, you have finally discovered trading for the very first time outside of the trading that happened in the first 24 hours. So this is the only significant candle on here so far, right? This guy, this March 8th. Because for whatever reason, the bears were able to push this further than they ever did before. And the bulls let them, right? So that's sort of how I look at that. Now, that area is significant. Why? We came down, we shot down 2 more days in a row. We pushed up, and what happened? We broke right on that level. Right, here you go. There's that listing candle level. Here's the body in the middle. Smashed right through it. Not able to make it. Dropped down again. Gained a little bit. Gained a little bit more. You almost got fully back. You got one more try. What happens? Rejection. Right back on it. Now you got sideways, 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 sideways. Drop. Sideways. Drop. Sideways, 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 sideways. Drop. All right, so I still hold my buy order, or my buy zone, at 40, 23-ish. I mean, whatever this is. What do we got here? 40.69 to 39.87, which is pretty arbitrary, by the way. It's just a zone. All right? If you look at the whole thing, it's in a clear downtrend. Nobody's going to dispute that. Right? You had your first good push down. Right? This is almost unsustainable. I'll show you what I mean by that if we do something like this. All right, look how sharp of a slope that is. All right, it's way too sharp of a slope to maintain anything like that, and that's in any market for anything. It just can't maintain that for far too long. This level is important right here. Not sure why we didn't mark it down. In fact, I don't know what this guy is doing here. So let's do that, because that seems to make a lot more sense. So this level is important because for whatever reason we found support. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days down, found support, pushed up, and then we broke it again. But I mean, that's all right. At least we know when we come back, we should be looking for some type of reaction. Some type of something is going to happen here, hopefully. Now, this level here, again, just like this one, you found support. So for whatever reason, again, you know, and what is this doing here? I don't know what's going on. So again, you found support right here. That's an area you might be interested in. And it looks like it acted as rejection over here. So resistance, support, and then dump down. So that's all I have. I mean, you want to scalp this thing, then we could talk. We throw a 5-minute chart up, right? Not 5 months. Throw a 5-minute chart up, and then, you know, then we can start looking at stuff, because now at least we have a history to go off of. You know what I mean? Like, look, that's a chart. You know, and then you could attempt to play all these little bounces. You know, and if you were like, all right, right here, you're going to come up on some type of resistance. So what do you got? Very simple. All right, you got a rising wedge. Oof. Oh, man, that didn't work out at all. There you go. Something like that. Ugh. Oh, jeez. This is not working. There we go. Thank you. All right, so we got that. We could push this down here. All right, and that'll give us the idea that at least this is our first level of resistance, because we got 1, 2, 3 touches to the top side. If we look at history, say, all right, well, how many times have we repeated something similar to this, and what was the reaction when it did? You know, does it respect patterns? Well, then we got head and shoulders right here. We got 1, 2, 3. Neckline, dump. All right, so it respects that pattern. That's pretty cool. We got over here, this line right here. So if you go up, you follow the trend, right? What do? The second you come up to that trend, you cross that line over, you short it. What happens? It comes back. It's not a great retest. Comes back for a little retest and then dumps. You could do that there. You could do that there. You could probably do it again over here. You know, use that yellow line as your dump line. If it does push back again one more time and comes down, trades below here, that's the idea. Get the hell out of there. You know, sell your orders. But yeah, that's what I got on. That's what I got on FET. See? Miguel That was way more than 20 seconds. Way more than 20 seconds. I mean, round about, that was almost 60 seconds probably, if I had to guess. All right, Decred USD. Howdy ye, too early, Crypto Dad Life, what's up? Snow Theta BTC, huge retrace thoughts. All right, well, let's take a look at, we will look at Decred and then we will look at Theta. So, Decred. Trex probably got the history. All right, Decred did some things. Here, this is that exact move I was just trying to explain, but on a 5-minute chart. All right, this is just a very simple breakdown play. There's nothing really to it outside of playing it. I mean, it's a trend, lopsided to the downside. If it does this, right, this is what I look for. I look for like kind of a consistent trading, you know, higher highs, higher lows, yada, yada, yada. But it's all bunched up and it's kind of like, you know, there's not like a bunch happening here, right? It's a consistent trend, but it's ugly, right? And then you get kind of a big dump that comes down and should test some previous structure lows. But then you get this big smash up, right? And now you're not coming out of range, right? You're coming out of a trend. It's a little bit different. So you push, you got this big push up, right? 33% or so. And then you start dumping pretty quickly, which is fine. Typically, you'd be looking for some type of 618, 786, maybe even 886. And then you drop back down and you're like, oh, man, we're right back on that trend again. Oh, we're back on that trend again. You close below this trend, and it's time to short or get the hell out. Right? This plays out. You look at any chart, right, and you'll see it time and time again. It's not every time it'll play out. No pattern is, and that's not even a pattern. It's just a freaking trend line. But anyway, let's go back to what we're talking about here. So Decred USD. First off, let's get these out of here. All right, on the larger scale of things, I don't know why I got this Ronald McDonald theme going on here, but that has to stop. That's not good. All right, this is just a theory here, coming on listing bounce and then taking the first pullback, drawing a trend through, sort of invalidating this V bottom right here. And for a little while, I was thinking we're going to come back to it. I think we are going to. So I'm going to leave it on there for now. It's fine. It's not any sort of technical analysis. It's just a thought is really all it is. We did have a nice push up. We made a high, higher low, lower high. This was your swing failure right here. So that came down like that. Fact, look at that. Oh, man, I love TA. All right, so check it out. When you made your parabolic move up, right? This is an A, B, C, D, by the way. A, B, C, D. You got your big move. Started leveling out a little bit. Failed to make a higher high. This became your swing failure. At the same time, you are making higher lows. And now you're making lower highs. So you're painting yourself a symmetrical triangle. Patterns, realize, break out to the upside. That's great. Push up above. Get yourself a new all-time high. Break down again. Ride in the same trend. Found support. Push back up. Failed to make a higher high. Minus that wick right there, which I'm not validating. Okay. So now there's your swing failure on this side. And again, a swing failure, if it breaches the upside, right, you go long. If it breaches, if it holds as resistance, then look for support on the downside. So now this upper trend line that made our symmetrical triangle played out again all the way down here. And when we found support off of the swing failure rejection back in May, right? So that's one thing, you know, you could sort of love about TA is, like, they'll come back into play. It may not happen right away. It may be a few months away, maybe a year away. But for some strange reason, these things do tend to play out. So that's pretty cool. Now, locally speaking, right, we got a lower high, we got a lower high, we got a lower high. All right, so that's a clear trend right there. We don't need any fancy markings to actually look at that. I'm going to play the wick for a second. I'm not really liking that. Ugh. All right, we're going to leave it. We're going to leave it here for now and just adjust the back end of it, something like that. All right. So with that, we do kind of also have a channel, if we look at it. So something similar to this. Let me get this over here. I know, there's a lot of lines, guys. Sorry. We're gonna power through the lines together, though. It's going to be all right. So I'm not in love with the channel. Yeah, the channel kind of is terrible. No. All right, that's all got to go. No problem. No problem. Don't force the trend if there's no trend. All right, so when we got our low, so now we at least have a resistance level here, something on the local side, something that we can use right away, which is good. It just gives us an area, some sort of indication of what to do. Now, this is that trend drop, no problem. This over here is a little bit more of a double bottom. So we have this, right? And we'll zoom in on this in just a second, but that's more of your double bottom area over here. You're finding support on the low side, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if we drew this line in here, which I'll do it temporarily, right? This is just right there. That's just a descending triangle, right? The pattern barely played out, broke out a little bit, gave you a little move, came back down, right back down to range. So that's why I'm going to get rid of that. We don't need to keep it. Now, it is a bit of a range, which is good because we got this big move right here. But if we were going to do range on this one, oh man, come down, drop, found support here. So that was good. And that's actually this candle support. If you can see that little red line, that's where we're dancing around right now. But I would imagine, see, these are reaches, right? This is trying to get past, trying to get past. This is just trading. This is like you're reaching and you're failing. But you're failing at different levels. This whole zone is just choppy. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. All right, that's ballpark for now. I'll adjust it later. But I want to at least get some sort of idea on the screen for now. This would be your zoned area where it's up or down, right? It's make or break either side. You're either going to drop down and continue on this lower range, or you're going to break up above and turn it into support. So clearly we had support on the way down. This is the big drop down. Smash, hesitation, came down, hesitation, came down. Found support and then pushed through. All right, so that's why I got this little zone right here. This is my make or break zone, right? High or low, you know, flip the coin, whatever it's going to be. If you're on the downside of it, expect resistance on the bottom of it, right? So resistance, 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 resistance. And we already have our down level line over here. So this is our bottom support line. We're going to keep that. That's no problem. Right here, we're just doing a little bit, dancing around inside of that little zone. That's fine. Push up above it, close above it, come back down, retest it, and then smash above that. Now we're talking. Right now, not much. Throw a fib on this lowest move back here and just see what we're dealing with. 618 again. Seems to always be the 618. So support on the 618, but again, you're just dancing around this range. So if you're a range trader, you could deal with 9% gains. You buy low, sell, buy low, sell, buy low, sell until it's invalidated. You could do that possibly for the next 140 days. Who knows? Right now you're doing it for 122 days. And then, of course, we do have some major things to talk about once we do get out of here. Long-term trends coming into play, old trends coming into play, theory lines coming into play. I mean, yeah, Decred's cool. I don't know if you guys have ever researched him. I interviewed a dude from over there, and man, I think his name was Matt. I don't know. It's one of the videos I got, but he was a super smart guy. They got a lot going on over there. They're a brilliant little bunch. This is a failed Head and Shoulders, which that's too bad. But all right, that's it. I think I felt like I spent a lot of time on Decred. My bad. My bad. But maybe you learned something. Who knows? Theta BTC, huge retrace thoughts. BM, what's up? Me? What's up? What's going on? What's happening? What's the word? Theta BTC. All right. Oh, yeah. You know, I felt for a minute there we were pulling this chart up like every day. And then, look, it's been a while. We haven't pulled it up in a while. All right, so Theta. Oh, man. All right, so Theta's a stopped-out trade right there. So Theta, we saw the larger moves up, right? We saw the, oh, God, stop it. We saw the cup and handle inside the cup and handle, inside the other cup and handle. There were a lot of cup and handles happening. Try to briefly bring you through it. I think we said, yeah, so this bigger one was just for show, right? Because it's not a cup and handle at all, but it was just funny. So we threw it on there and we left it because, you know, I'm a child at heart. This level over here, this was actually a cup and handle, so that was good. We had to arbitrarily sort of pick the top, so I think we did that on a 4-hour chart or a 1-hour chart. And that was fine. You had the smaller cup and handle down here, and that one played out as well. So you got a cup and handle with your handle, and then your target hit, and then you had your cup and your very shallow handle. I think this was 382 if I remember right, or it could have been a 236. And then that got realized. So you had two cup and handles in a row, both got realized. Pushed back down, which was a good pullback. This was a good area to pull back to. And then we had our buy orders in. So buy orders in, and we hit our 1618, which is nice. Didn't quite reach the 2618. Started to pull back again. We were hoping that this line would hold. This red line, this was our, you know, sort of pullback, retest structure highs. But it didn't. It smashed through it, at which point we would have been at that. After realizing the 1618, we would have been out of the trade, and then it just dumped. So, not able to hang on to this trend line, right, was the first indication that, you know, things are starting to go sideways for Theta. So, that being said, now we got to take a look at the downside situations here. Let's get rid of all this junk. Let's clean all this up. Well, we know we broke this. We're going to leave this up here for now because that's our broken trend. Right, we do want to take one of these guys. This is connecting the lows. Yeah, it's okay. We'll leave it for now. All right, we'll leave it for now. So, pushing on this leg, right? This is the last substantial move up. Previous structure. Came down, made a little bounce, pushed up. That's your new high. Dropped down, tested previous structure. Since then, dropped down for a double bottom. Didn't get much back and is now starting to taper off. So let's go down to the bottom of this move and let's see what we got here. On the larger scale, the bigger move coming back down, all the way down 1618 target to the downside would be rough. But would it make sense? Not really. It's a little too low. You know, it's a little too low. All right, so what levels do make sense? This aqua line right here makes sense. This is structure highs, structure highs. It looks like we tapped down on it. Did we? No, we came very close. Very close. Almost tapped down to it. This would be down to the 886 perfectly. So if the 886 holds, which would be this leg right here. So the front run on the 886, if that holds, then we're good. Flip this trend real quick because it's only just confirmed, what, 2 days ago. So you can flip that trend real quick. Not necessary for a retest. You could just blast right through it. This didn't seem to have too much of a reaction. Maybe this was close. Maybe 2 candles reacted with it. So it's not, you know, it's not the greatest trend to go by. Put it this way, if it gets respected on the way up, that's when it's verified. So it's barely even verified right now. You got this, which validates it, you know, and verifies the trend, but any one of these candles would eventually hit this trend. So I'm not really convinced by it. It's not beautiful. But this right here is nice. See that aqua line? That's good. That's a good place to find support. So in other words, you went all the way over here, right, and you did this from this candle, right, that body support candle, all the way across. Give it a little room to breathe. Right, you pulled that all the way across the whole chart from listing, and it worked out. All right, now you wouldn't have been looking at that all the way up here, right? And once you lost to 618, and then you got support on the 709, you have to at least expect anything under the 618 is possible. At that zone, this whole area is open territory. You lose that 618, and all the way down to the 886 is, you know, a reality. Put it that way. That's how important that is. Matching up confluence with previous structure highs and historical support resistance right here. It's a nice level. I like it. I'd stay in this for now as long, right, until the next area we broke. And if we broke that, then that's a wrap for me. Let's see here. Yeah, I guess the one really is the zone, right? So trading lower than the 1, I mean, you have to be out of this trade. If you were buying at the 886, but if you layered in from like the 382, the 5 to 6, I mean, whew, at that point, you know, you should have already been stopped out like a few times. So yeah, Theta's got some work to do for sure. If Theta can maintain course and take care of business, then at its current level, let's see up top there, just getting back to the 1 is 86%. So that's great. That would be great. We'll have to wait and see though. That's got a lot of time left on it right now. So don't get too carried away. All right, let's see. What do we got here? Wall banger. Numbers. I like numbers. Yes, wall banger loves numbers. Snow. Love Decred. My long hole. Thank you. You're welcome. Wall banger. Good morning. Fun ETH. Oh, wall banger. Jeez. Good evening from the East Coast. All right. Okay. I got a winner. MFT. Yeah, I'm watching Funfair too. MFP doesn't look bad to me. Had EVX on my list. I missed on that one. Oh well. In on Fun and MTL. All right, so let's take a look at Fun ETH and MFT, and then that'll probably wrap it up. All right, so Fun ETH. Got lots of work to do. Lots of cool work to do. All right, so Fun ETH. Are we supposed to be on Trex? There we go. There it is. All right, so oof, failed. Failure. Well, I'll put it this way. It's ugly. It's super ugly. So let's get this junk out of here. All right. Losers and invalidated patterns are not exciting. All right, so we actually traded lower than what would have been our double bottom, so we pushed that down over here. That is a shame. All right, so let's push that back up. Let's get our top situated here. I want to see this first move. Pull back right down just above the 618. Didn't quite make it. Things would have been a lot better if it did hit the 618, but it didn't. And we're not going to lie, so it didn't hit it. That's fine. It wicked out at previous structure wicks during the hesitation on the rise up, but nothing too significant. Good roll down bottom, pop back up, made a new high. Since then is painting like a seriously ugly pennant, but we can draw it anyway, just because it's what we do. Alright, so if we did, well, really can't. Ugh. It's just gonna be an ascending triangle. It's just gonna be this. Try to keep that top a little parallel. There you go. So you know, it's not much. It's an ascending triangle off of a uptrend. You almost had, almost, very close. It was kind of close. You almost had a flag like so, but even then, I mean, you're really trying. Yeah. Too much bending of the spoon here. It's not the Matrix, so it's a lose-lose. All right, now if we push this up to our larger move like this, let's see what we have. Trading on the 236, didn't quite touch the 382. So this thing, oh man, I really hate. What is this? Fun ETH. This is a terrible pair. It's not respecting anything at all. Now let's say we drop this to our last bottom move right here, give or take. Let's push this over here. There it is. All right, now do we have anything? We're trading on the 3. All right, this is better. We're trading on the 382. All right, flipping it back and forth. Tested the 5 3 times, found support all 3 times. That's better. At least you got a little bit of confluence. It's also right down here where it tested the low point, previous structure highs, hesitation on the way down, double confluence in that area. That's good. But you are still yet to make a high higher than this level up here. So if we are looking to trade this, we're going to need to set some type of target up. And we do that like this. And we take a look. 1618 is the first level. Look at, oh man, right? Who's with me? Who's with me? All right, this is why I love TA. Check it out. Bang. Right here. You're going to put a mark there anyway, right? Of course you would, because you got a reversal. And what do you got? The 2618 on the nose. Perfect. 1618. What'd you do? You came down. This is your bounce. Pushed up. Drop down. 2618. Right here. Body top. Swing high candle. Perfectly. Perfectly. Look at that. You don't even need the fibs because it's already perfect. Alright, so now I do like this coin because I do like the pair, because I do like the way it respects TA. Do you see this? It's close. It's close. I know. I didn't want to blow your mind 3 times in one chart. That's not fair. Very close. Very close, but not, you know, it's close. Just like this, our historical support resistance line that we threw on here, who knows when, right? Probably based off this candle top right here. Very close to the 3618. So here's my deal. Now that we have that, now that we have something that we can respect, now we can look at this thing with a whole new set of appreciation. First, let's throw a trend over here. Let's do that real quick. Where's the body? There you go. Where's the body top? Alright, so got here. Bang, yeah, something like that-ish. Okay. Alright, oh, that's perfect. Lining up right where we're at right now. That's good. Not much going on over here. Good support zone area right here. Creeping back up, we might find a lot of hesitation between the 1.6 and the 2.6. This whole zone, let me point that out for you right here. This whole zone right here, right? All this support, you know, it kind of looks like it came out of nowhere. That could be an issue in this ballpark. I would, you know, certainly have to take a closer look when we get there. But our current move is a low, the high, higher low, higher high, and a higher low. So we're certainly within trend, and we like trend a lot. So we're going to do that. Bang, bang. Not much to the upside as far as trend is concerned, so we're going to leave that be for just now. Painting this triangle's nice. So at least gives us something to look for, which is okay. I really do. So I support this level right here. Coming down and touching that is okay for me. You don't always have to come down to the 618. I believe it was the 5 when the fib was correct. So that's a good zone. It's still fine. We could have went down a little further. Could have hit the bottom of this little swing candle would have been fine, but not the case, not right now, and that's all right. RSI's trending up. Good levels down here. All right, all the way down 22 is nice. Higher low. Starting to crawl back a little bit. No big deal. All right, I like this. Here's my deal for fun ETH. Fun ETH. Fun ETH. All right. So, this pattern is still fresh, meaning it has a long way to go. Typically, you want to see these break between 50 and 75%. We're like 25% in this pattern. We are also starting to creep up on this trend line. We were able to save it with body, right? But wick blew right through it, so that's something to consider. Long-term trend is very nice. And in fact, we just tested it right now and failed. So that's actually good to see, at least on confluence of whether it's a trend or not. And that's this guy right here. So overall, at the end of the day, I would like to see us break pattern and want to break above and close above and retest this trend line. Come push back up, first target levels 1618. All right, so you play that on the breakout play. You break out, come back for the retest, shoot for about 7%. Next move up, 2.6, 22%. And then from there, you really have to, you know, reevaluate what kind of steam this thing has. Volume is horrific, so you have to make sure it's at least liquid enough to take the trade. That's for starters. That's a great level right here. That bottom came down for that retest right here. Look at that. That's perfect. Right there. Very nice. All right, cool. Fun ETH. There you go. That's what I got. And what we're going to do, MFT? Yeah. All right. Let's take a look at MFT. Knowles USDT. Snow, gotta go. You're very welcome. Whoa, you're very welcome. Yeah, so we'll look at, that's no problem. We'll do MFT, and then we'll take a look at Knowles. MFT, yeah. MFT. MFT. What the hell is MFT? What? Oh, mainframe. Oh, okay. That's fine. I remember this coin. Ow. Man, this takes me back a little bit. Okay. Well, it's really, this kind of says it all. Not a whole lot to look at here. We hit our upper trend. That was our completion of our ABCD. Target acquired. Sell. And wait for it to come down. Buy again. And then just, you know, rinse and repeat until the pattern breaks. That's about it. Until we get out of this zone over here, there's not really a lot going on. I mean, this thing's got a ways to go before we do anything worthwhile. But I'll be looking at getting up to 141 up at that 236. But no, I mean, it finally hit the top. Finally created the pattern, but I guess we could do that because that's where it actually hit. But yeah, that's it. That was easy. All right, Knowles. What'd you say? Knowles USDT. Okay, gotcha. Knowles. Tethosaurus. Oh, a fresh chart. Excellent. It just looks like a ladle. And there's your ladle. No double bottom. Yeah, got yourself a little cup right here. Okay. You already started making the handle. Let me mark this level real quick. All right, so let me jump on the weekly. Let me see what we're doing here. There's just like no history with this thing. Killing me. All right, let's see. Good. Daily. Okay. Alright, now, is it as glorious as it looked from a distance? It's alright. It's not great. Well, I guess, should it have been? It's pretty close, but no, it's more suitable. Well, it's just not very good. Yeah, it's not great. If we were to play this, right, I mean, you would want a better pattern than this, for sure. But if you were to play it, you'd be looking at, right, currently a 382 shallow pullback on the handle. It could go as mid as 5 and as deep as 618. And then you would be looking at a 1-to-1 off of this level here, right? So 1-to-1. The height of the whole pattern, right? So this would get pushed down to here. So that you have your 1 to 0, -1. So this is what you're looking at for a target. If you're to play the cup and handle. So something like that. When you do have retraces on handles, right? Shallow would be, shallow is really like a 382, not so much a 236. And then you got a mid at 5, and then you got like a deep at 618, like a deep handle. This just looks like a current pullback. So if we're looking at that, trend rise, we have a low, we have a high, we got a higher low, we got a higher high, we got a higher, just barely a higher low, we got a higher high, we got a higher low, we got a higher high, and currently painting a higher low. So that's fine if we are to drop down past the 618 over here. Now you got a swing failure on the low side. If you're not able to trade up over here, you got a swing failure to the upside. Previous structure Previous structure puts us just below the 236, so a very light retrace here, very shallow retrace. If we do hold this level, the confluence would be previous structure highs. We could take a look at a few of these moves and see, you know, what their pullbacks were. Let's just take a look at the really big one here, and let's see what this thing actually did. So the pullback on this was down to the 709. Our current move, even though I know it's not done yet though, but our current move, finding support at the 618. So that's something to consider. What about this move over here? All right, so this move came up, dropped down. So this came all the way down right here. It broke the 886 and then just sort of dumped off. You know, at that point you were like over 100%. Lost it, made a lower low, so that's not good right there. Let's take like even this pullback over here. This is a lot to deal with. Oh, stop doing that. Stop it. Stop doing it. Something like that. 886 again. But basically this is a false breakout to the downside. You gained everything right back. You ended up ping-ponging 618 and 786 and only just tapping down at the 886. So this one's a lot better, right? Ended up pushing up at that point. Failed to make a higher high before reversing course, but still not bad overall. So this is not a historically shallow retrace type of coin. So I would expect further downside. Now, if it just has the momentum with it, it is breaking good volume up over averages, similar to what it did here, but look at what happened. You broke it, right? You made this big spike high. You came down and you gave it all right back. I mean, the whole thing you gave back. So you don't want to end up coming all the way down and giving this whole thing back or this whole thing back. But if you did, then at least you'd be down on the 618. And that would make a little bit more sense for the pattern. But let me be clear about this cup and handle pattern. It is ugly. It's barely a pattern. It's a rounded bottom. But that's about it. It is so choppy. You know, there's nothing good about it. I don't got a good feeling about calling that a cup, but we'll leave it on for now because it is at least a nice rounded bottom. Outside of that, it's a bit of a mess. If we just play that larger move, then I'm looking for a larger pullback. Something a little bit more dramatic before heading back to the 1, the 6-1, and the 2-1. All right? Cool. Very nice. Good. Well, get off of that one. Very nice. All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for tonight. Got to attend to some other things, but I do appreciate you guys coming out. I always do. Thank you so much for joining me for the daily candle close, and then, you know, some charting in between. Always fun time. So I do appreciate that. Until next time, I want to see you guys on the exchanges, and happy trading. Happy.